All right, guys, so we are back, all right, and we're continuing where we left off. So we're still looking at SBS, spreadsheet SBS, and now we're at task 4, right? In the previous video, we did A, we did C, and we did D, and we said that we're leaving E and B for further down. When we finish with everything, then we do those two sections, all right? So now we are moving on to task 4, all right? So task 4 says, on the same admittance complete sheet, which is the sheet that we were working on for the last video, insert the headings to calculate the total expenses for each patient as well as the total insurance coverage from the MOH patients receiving 90% coverage and the surgical patients receiving 70% coverage, leaving the uninsured with only a small discount of 10%. The sheet should also display the total amount to be paid by each patient. All right. So what this coverage part is talking about is that when you're in a hospital, if you have insurance, the insurance covers a part of the expense for you. So what this part is saying is that the MOH insurance will cover 90% of the amount the patient is to be paying, and the Sagicor insurance, if persons are with Sagicor, they will get coverage of up to 70% of what they are supposed to pay. And persons who have no coverage, no insurance at all, they will get a discount of 10%. Right? So first thing we're going to do, we're going to put all of that information in our key. Remember, we spoke about the key in the last video, and we said that figures that we don't want to change, figures that will remain the same throughout the whole project, we're going to have those in the key. So that 90% and 70% and 10%, those figures won't change. So we don't need to keep typing them in the formula each time as 90% or 10%. We can just have them one place and we'll refer to that cell each time. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is where we left off last time, right? Finish the headings. We did all of this. We're putting all of this information was put in. I only have it for 6 persons. You're going to have it for all your 30 persons, right? I will put in all of this information down here, so right. So we're just going to continue from this, right? So with the coverage now, we're going to insert a part in the key that looks like this: insurance, MOH 90%, non 10%, surgical 70%. Remember, we will only want these headings for the insurance, right? I know that some of you recognize that some of you went ahead and put some other insurance persons in your insurance. Some of you have Guardian, some of you have some other places. We don't want to go that far, right? The SBA specified MOH and Sagicor, so we only working with MOH and Sagicor. So if you went ahead and you start putting other insurance in this insurance column right here, so make sure that you only have Sagicor, MOH, or none. Those are the only ones that will work with what we have to do for going forward. All right, good. So once you have put that in your key, we can now move ahead now and look at the coverage. So I was trying to adjust this so that you will see it properly. All right, so I have put in 3 new headings out here. So sorry, our total, coverage, and amount to pay. All right, the total is going to be the total for the 4 expenses coming across, meaning that for this set of expense, total going to go there. For this set of expense, total going to go there. Continue all the way down. All right. The coverage is going to be based on the insurance percentage, what we just look at in the key. And the total amount to be paid is going to be the total minus the coverage. So the total here, the total here is going to be the total amount that you are supposed to pay that person will pay for the entire time that they were in the hospital. The insurance is going to be this part for the coverage. So what is going to be here is going to be this total minus the coverage will give you the total amount to be paid. So for example, if we're looking at Barrett, which is in row 6, here, so the information for Barrett, you see that this person was supposed to pay $345,000, but because they are with Sagicor and Sagicor gives them 70%, they get 70% off. So the 70% is going to be this figure here. So when we calculate it out, we get that figure right here. So the total amount to be paid will be the balance, the difference between the total and the coverage, right? So I will show you how to do that in a couple of formulas real quick, and then we can move through and finish. All right, so let's do this one now for Bent. Good. So we'll put in that formula here. Good. All right. So let me just small up everything. We're going to get a little bit small, but bear in mind that what you're looking at is what I'm typing here, which is going to come up in here. So you will see big up there, so when it's big typed. All right. So for this one now, we're going to use what's called a VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP. Right? The VLOOKUP has 3 sections that I should point out. The VLOOKUP has what you're looking for, what you're looking for. Yeah, come on, so slow. What you're looking for, which in this case is going to be total, is what you're looking for. All right, that's the first thing. The second part of the VLOOKUP is where you're looking. So where you're looking is this entire section right here, which is A25 to B27. Right, A25 to B27. So it's all of this here is where you're looking. And then because of where we're looking, we have 2 columns. We have this column, we have this column. So the third part of the formula is going to be to tell us that we want information from this column. All right, so let me do that again. We want first part of the VLOOKUP, we want the total. We're going to use the total. We're going to use what is in the key, all of what is in the key, and the third part is going to be what is in the second column of the key. All right, so we're going to see how we use that in a second. But before we get to that, let's put in the totals. So what totals are saying, we want the total for all of this coming across. All right, so for all of this coming across here, so we want the total. So we would say, this one is simple, this one isn't hard. We're going to say equal sum open bracket, and we're using from, for this person, for Bent, we're using from K8 to N8. You close the bracket. K8 to N8. That represents, for Bent, that represents the figures for bed, for meal, for medication, and for equipment. So once you do that, you press enter, and you get your total fill in right there. So Alright, so we don't need to waste a lot of time on that because this part should be pretty easy. Alright, moving through now. Let's look at the coverage now for bent, because this is the interesting part. This is where we're going to use a VLOOKUP. So we're saying equal VLOOKUP, open bracket. I remember the first part that we said we want. The first part that we said we want is the total, so that is in 08. Right? 08. That's not 08, that is O, because it's column O. So that's 08, comma, and then we say where we want to look. We want to look in this entire, in these cells right here. So all of that is A25 to B27. You see it highlighted there. And then the third part is we want what is in column 2. So we'll basically put 2 because we want what's in column 2. Between column A and column B, we want what is in column B, which is column 2. And we can close the bracket for that one. And that will give us that will give us the percent based on the insurance. So like how this person have this bent here, so it's with MOH. For MOH, he should be showing 90%. So when I press enter here, so I should see what happened this. Why am I see that? Alright, so there's that error there. So 08. Oh, sorry. It's not the total I use. It's not 08. It's the insurance, which is in G8. Right, sorry about that. It's G8 because that's why you're comparing. Alright, so once you do that, now you're supposed to see the 90%. In this case, it's showing as $9 because I never formatted before. It's showing as $9, but it's percent. Alright, so you see the 90%. But I don't want the 90% to show here, so you know. But what I want is the 90% of this figure here, so for that now, it means that I have to say in my formula, same formula up on the top left here, so at the end of it I can say times the total, which is 08, and that will give me 90% of the total. It come up like that because I don't format it. I'm gonna put that on currency and then you see the full figure like that. Alright, let me do another one properly so you see without the errors. We're looking now at Bogle. Right? And we're saying equal VLOOKUP, open bracket, and we'll go all the way over to the insurance column. In this case is none, so this is in G9, which is none. So right, I will know that this person is only going to be getting 10%. So it's G9, comma. Then we go down to the key and we select everything that is in this key like this, A25 to B27, and then we say comma, and then we want what is in column 2 of the key. So we say 2, right? Close bracket. Now remember, if I press enter now, I'm going to say 10%. We're going to see 10% come up because for the insurance is none. But I don't want the 10%. I want the 10% times the total. So I want to put times here, so, and I'm going to select the total, which is 09. That is not 09, that is O, column O, row 9, which is 09. So when I press enter, I see that this person only get 21% coverage because they don't have the insurance, so they only get a little bit off. Alright, let me just do the final, this one here, so for Brown. equal V lookup, open bracket, and I'm going over here, so it's a G10 because I'm working in that column now. G10, comma, I go to the key, comma, I put in 2 because I want the second one, close bracket, and times the total. So when I say enter now, that's the amount that I get. Sorry about the background noise. I'm not sure why so much helicopter choose to fly over this house tonight. Alright, good. So right, so we know how this works now, so we're good with this. As you can see, I try copy it down and it's not going to copy, so don't try copy it down. Alright, you have to type it out. There's a way to, there's part of the same something I tell about the absolute cell referencing. If you know how to do that, you can copy this down without having to do it over and over and over. Alright, so the amount to be paid now, we're looking at these columns here. So the amount to be paid now is going to be equal to and this part is very simple. We just say equal total minus the coverage and enter. See that? Alright, so once you have done that, you should get it looking like this. And of course, you're going to do this for all 30 persons going down. Alright, look through this, rewind, fast forward, turn it upside down, make sure you get it properly. Once you finish all of this section, you can move on to the next section. So in the next video, so right now we have done this one now. We have just done this one. For the next video, we're going to look at creating the pie chart in task 5, and we're going to look at E and B from task 4, and then we'll finish with the spreadsheet. All right, so get going, guys.